Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone.
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out.
For the people of Lenegis, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords?
Being exclusive is one thing, but how many important facilities let in only the...
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was only one room, maybe. But a place on this scale? How did they keep it from falling in? Whoever the Sovereign is. They can't manage the upkeep of this whole place.
Did no one ever talk about it when you were...
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority. Grounds of the one true ruler who preside. That is what we believed this place to be. But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose. And why do...
Well?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy, so as to convert the creation of a governing central figure. Code name...
Sovereign!
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of... That must be the... With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the
About the lords?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both, not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from... In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some...
What about the Sovereign?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through...
What is it?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only...
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown It's all lies, including the part about the sovereign residing in... The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already... Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind. She could be working for someone else. Someone back...
Either way, it's fair to say she's...
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign, and Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Only 2 sovereigns in over... So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, was there really no other way? Or...
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. I knew what I was already, so it's not like it's a surprise. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for. I'm scared that I'll put a face to it.
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you fight it, before you ever got that far. Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah, we wouldn't.
That's right. No good.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever...
Thank you. Naori, I...
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen. That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me. Made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori?
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony, the purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's...
But that power showed me a vision. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost. And Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new even if by doing so, it meant I would... Please, forgive me. I never...
Wait, you can't...
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Dan...
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what...
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma...
We have a maiden and sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be Shion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work...
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but... just hearing there's the slightest chance...
No, it isn't! You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you...
Rinwell's right. We can rid you...
Thank you.
Starting with a little game called...
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now...
Yeah, we can...
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renin lore...
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shion. Now let's get moving. Thank you, Naori. So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was... I'm so sorry, Shion.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony. You paid a heavy price for it. And then the reason you
Is the reason...
The thorns.
It all leads back to them.
When I never dared to dream. No, the truth is... about the touch of my family, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack, embracing all the normal... I always wished I could Is it really? I'm so... What if it doesn't work out?
That's not going... I'm here to forget fate or destiny. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things.
Yeah, it's such a... I know, and it's...
You're worth...
I believe you.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. Until our future.
Sounds like this Naori chick had quite...
Her position demanded nothing less. From the sound of things, she didn't focus on differences, least of all those between...
Yeah. It was Naori who first showed me that such a thing was even possible. And then she saved my life.
Not only that, but she willingly stayed behind on Lenegis for the sake of her people. It sounds like she was quite the hero, all right. A truly caring person.
It's as if walls meant nothing to her. The one separating the Renans from the Danans.
Which basically meant that she never had anything to break down in the first place, huh?
You inherited that legacy.
Don't I know it?
She's kind of like a lodestar guiding our way.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us.
Go for it, Alphen.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
We're a long way from the residential quarters now. It looks
Yeah, you're right. Actually, this place...
Except the den and
In a portion of the city.
Maybe he just...
This place looks like it has been here for quite some time now. Still, this isn't the sort of decadence of...
Hold up.
When a preference is indulged to its extreme, it does...
That depends.
The void that art fills isn't the stump.
In that case, I'll let you know...
Now all we need is something to fill up.
Shut up!
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but... Are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alvin, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible? What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alchemy. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
Shiny Supernova!
Severing wind!
Shiny Supernova!
Soaring light spear! Mirage!
Here, let me help.
He's dead! I'll tear you apart! Infernal
Thunder Field! Here!
Will this help?
The armor won't save you!
Double demon fang!
Really only one.
Stay away from my friend!
Talon Hurricane!
By the power of Thunder Field! Without a trace! Shiny Supernova! Thunder Field! Explosion! Shiny! Burning!
Glacial Spear!
Demon fang! Blow away! You may be strong, but I'll never back down! Swallow blade! Super swallow gate! Raining strike! Blow away!
Water! Hear my call! I'll heal you all!
Raining strike!
Thunder Field!
Eternal devastation!
Healing Shiny Supernova!
Burn in hell!
Thunder Field!
Dragon Shell!
I need to pull myself
Kill
together.
her!
Roll now!
Back in
Demon fang!
Thunder
Double
Field!
demon fang!
Ready and ready!
Shiny
You picked the
Supernova!
wrong side!
Now in the groove! Glimmer
Shiny
Take this!
Supernova!
Soaring alpha! Not today!
By the power of flame! Vanish without a
Double
Shiny
demon fang!
Supernova!
Talon sword!
First aid!
Demon fang!
Supernova! I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! There's a healing arm! Just what the doctor ordered!
Swordland Alpha!
I'm only getting started!
Now you see what I can do!
All mine!
Flame of Fury!
Destructive Ether!
Hear my Chinese Supernova! Your field! Piercing ready to go! Freeze laser! Here's a healing arc! First aid! Gotcha!
Eat this! Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine!
Blow away! Demon Fang!
Ready to go! Chinese Supernova!
Demon Fang! Turbo Demon Fang!
Thunder Deal! Hot field! Chinese
Turbo Demon Fang!
All citizens hear it now!
Chinese Supernova!
Burn!
Eagle Assault!
Demon Fang! Turbo Demon Fang!
Roll, take this! Eagle Assault!
Here's a healing arc!
Now you
Demon
see what I
Fang!
can do!
Demon Fang!
Into the
Turbo
Chinese
Demon Fang!
Supernova!
Swallow
Thunder
damage!
Deal!
I'm on a roll now!
Chinese Supernova!
Eagle Assault! All cities, you hear it now!
Turbo Demon
Chinese
Fang!
Supernova! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Boron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a
slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right? Volron.
So he posed as a Renin and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman.
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alma!
It's too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Outfit!
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Are you two okay?
Yeah.
Is Volron... Have we finally...
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was...
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put...
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renis Alma. Damn it, that's...
Whatever's stolen from us, the future's ours to protect. And right now those things, we can head them off.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the Motherlands.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they...
Yeah. There's a good...
So this thing over on Rena... That's what's...
They have the Renis Alma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana.
Then we're agreed.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit. To that Brennans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
I didn't see that coming about Volron. As for those red women, to think they were
Tell me about it. One minute they look perfectly human. Next thing you know, they're not actually
They definitely weren't Renan or Danon. I'm not even sure language would get through.
So what were they then? Human Zoogle
Is the most terrifying thing anyone said all.
How about you, Shion? Dohalim? You ever seen anything?
No, never. However, if they're the same as the Red Woman we've seen with Volron, I think it's safe for us to assume they understand.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would they?
Both sound plausible to my ears.
Yeah, they did. In the
While it's reeling!
Take it down! Hey! Anyone else think this might be a touch too dangerous?
Ridwell's right. We should fall back to regroup and try again later. What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Joe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed.
She doesn't remember a thing. So she really was being
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegis is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restorations.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix.
If so, then what's...
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be here.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed. Which is looking doubtful.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds
At ease. Like by letting them hear direct. That's it. Who's the highest ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Elda Menancia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid, as people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegus, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie. Built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't...
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegus, a new dawn is on the verge, one in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Turnigan's death. Just...
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegus till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegus who need someone. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul. How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate though the memories of the departed.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without...
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full. We should be heading back to the ship. Business. Looks like...
one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps
You, a Renan lord?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values. And when I realized the severity, a lord.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people the ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates a slave from a free person. Zephyr taught me how to fight.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise...
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correct?
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. You seem to have been aware of...
Why ask me now? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you.
So basically since the very start of...
Leave the past where it belongs. If my brother could...
Not as proud as he...
Well then, just as well.
Kisara, among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell.
You were thinking about Doha.
I was just thinking how good it was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner, but now, he's...
So...
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and...
Must be that
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first
A pretty big...
That's one way to look. All this has made me realize, if Dohalim can forge his own path ahead...
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just...
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix, too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan...
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman. The answers have to be there.
So, what do we...
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take...
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to...
If we come across a capital, we should... What? Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been—
If that's true...
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already?
A flower of...
With everything that's happening,
Unfortunately,
Can you fix it?
starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move...
So what?
I don't believe we're watching Dana die before our—
Law, calm down!
Right.
It's still too early.
Alphen.
Now?
The starship.
No, this is different.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.